What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So this is the OnePlus 11 and I'm going to get straight into it. I think you should pick up this device and here's why. So starting off with the first reason is going to be the performance. The chipset, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, an improvement over Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It's always good to see the latest chipsets found in these smartphones. Now, Quad HD, LTPO, 120 Hz panel on OnePlus 11, and the display itself is a little bit less curved than its predecessor, the OnePlus 10 Pro. And I hope that with future devices, they just go fully flat, no curves at all. I mean, you can slightly feel it, but I personally don't see the need for a curved display. I think many do agree with me, but if you don't, that's okay as well. Now, my OnePlus 11 here has 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. You can pick up an 8 gig of RAM model with 120 gigs of storage, but I personally think that the 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gig storage configuration is the sweet and the perfect configuration. And especially when you want to add in price into it, which I will be in later in the video, then it makes perfect sense. But overall, the performance here has just been great. Now, it ships with Android 13 and Oxygen OS. When I boot up the device, I was like, hey, it has Oxygen OS. Went to the home screen, definitely looks a lot. It has a lot of elements from Color OS from Oppo, but nonetheless, it still runs Oxygen OS. And surprisingly, I like it. Like it's not too bad. I kind of wish I had the more stock Android feel, but I think those days are over with the software. I hope maybe OnePlus does come back with it maybe next year or sooner than later, but for the time being, we're getting this look and it still feels really smooth. We're getting 4 years of Android updates. That means Android 14, 15, 16, and Android 17. So I like how manufacturers, OEMs, they're pushing out 4 years of Android updates with their devices. Overall, performance and software reliability with OnePlus 11, you can't go wrong. So reason number 2 is going to be the battery life on the OnePlus 11. So we're getting a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, just like its competitors like the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And yes, some may not want to compare this OnePlus 11 as a competitor to Galaxy S23 Ultra, but for those in the US, like this is the highest end OnePlus you're going to be getting, and the highest end Samsung you get is the S23 Ultra. But I see your point if you don't want to compare. Anyway, I'm just saying it has the same battery capacity as Galaxy S23 Ultra. Comes with 80 watts of Super VOOC charging here in the US. Charges to about 100% in 28 minutes, so in less than half an hour. For me, I'm all about charging speeds. This device doesn't come with wireless charging. The OnePlus 10 Pro, its predecessor, does, but this doesn't. And I never used wireless charging on the 10 Pro, so it's not gonna affect me personally too much. I'm more about how long it takes to charge with a cable anyway. And if it's 80 watts, less than 30 minutes, I'm all set to go. And generally with the use of this, the battery life has also been great. I'm getting about 6.5 to 7 hours of screen on time, something I didn't have with past OnePlus devices. Even my OnePlus 7 Pro that I used when it was released in 2019, which I personally still hold really fond of, and one of my favorite smartphones of all time, wouldn't reach 6.5 to 7 hours of screen on time in one day. I'd end up charging it if I wanted to use it for the entire day. I'd end up charging it late at night to continue to use it. But this right here has been a great contender in the battery department. And if battery is a reason for you, then OnePlus 11, I think it hits in the necessary spots with the charging speeds and with the actual performance of the battery life. So the third reason is going to be price, and I think for many it's one of the main reasons. Having past experience working in the mobile department at Best Buy, I know that pricing for smartphones is a huge reason for many to pick up or not to pick up a smartphone. If it's out of their budget, they will not pick it up, but if it's in their budget, they will. And for what you're getting, the internals, the hardware, the software, everything you're getting with the OnePlus 11, and when you compare it to its price and what's valued at, it's a great deal. So the price here is $699 for the base model. So you're getting 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage for the base model. But with that, you still get like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, you get the quad, you get everything else is the same, just those two RAM and storage is different. $699. The top end model configuration, $799 for 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Since I pre-ordered it, I got the extra storage with no extra cost. So with the OnePlus 11, you're getting a premium phone at a great price, especially when you want to compare it to other devices that carry the same specs and they're priced higher. You're getting a good camera. I didn't talk about the camera system, but you're getting a pretty good camera system. You're getting the alert slider, which is something that other OEMs have not adapted, and it comes in super clutch. Like, come on, like I wish other OEMs would use this alert slider in their smartphones. But with a great, awesome display, the highest end chipset on the market, great battery life, super fast charging, great camera, just great build overall, and you're paying $699, $799 for 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, I personally would pick this up, especially like if I'm just a normal consumer out there looking to find a phone with the best bang for the buck. Because I also want high-end specs. I also want great battery life. I don't want to go like $200-300, but I also don't want to pay a premium price if I can get the same value and the same things I'm looking for in a price that in a phone that is cheaper. And OnePlus 11 nails that. And I think this is going to bring more people back and kind of intrigue some more people to taking a look at the OnePlus 11. And that's really it. I think you should buy this because of mainly the price, but also because of the battery life and the performance. I'll be leaving links in the description down below. If you did enjoy, be sure to Superman that like button, comment down below. Be sure to share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. And also be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It is called Nebula. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below of this wallpaper pack, my absolute favorite right now. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. But that's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.